Laget innehåller 22 spelare. 5 av spelarna kommer från Sverige, övriga kommer från Kanada, USA och andra länder i Europa. Varför väljer de utländska spelarna att komma till Sverige och spela? Och hur kommer det sig att de väljer SDE som i alla år varit seriens sämsta lag? Tjejerna spelar helt utan ersättning. De jobbar eller studerar och betalar hyra, mat och nöjen ur egen plånbok. Dåliga träningstider och allmänt usla villkor för att kunna prestera på elitnivå. Dessutom måste tjejerna betala all utrustning som benskydd, skridskor och klubbor ur egen ficka.
How do you answer that? I don't know.
My name's Kelty Apperson and I come from Canada.
My name is Savine Wielenga. I'm 30 years old and I'm from Amsterdam, Holland.
I come from a family of 5 kids, so we were all hockey players growing up. So our parents pretty much gave up everything to allow us to do sports and play, and I'm so grateful for that. But now I'm 25 and I'm trying to understand like how would I ever do that, what they did. So we all played, and both lacrosse in the summers and then hockey in the winters and soccer in between.
Well, for me, I was building my career and my stable financial situation at home for the last 6 years. So, and I also kept playing hockey, of course. But then this opportunity came up to go back to Sweden for 1 more year, and yeah, I'm closer to the end of my hockey career than to the start, of course. So to me, it felt like one last chance to have a taste of the professional women's hockey. And yeah, it's one of the best leagues in the world, and I just couldn't resist to do that 1 more year and look to the future, like working-wise and career-wise. That's yeah. There's still so many years I'm gonna do that. So there's not so many years I can still play hockey on a high level. So yeah, I just wanted to do it, and I knew what the consequences were and what the sacrifice would be, but that's still. Yeah, it's only 1 year in a whole life, and I think it's worth it. Yeah.
I think I moved to Sweden because I wanted to experience different everything. Like I wanted to see a different culture. I wanted to see what the game was like here, and it was like a good opportunity to just try it and give it a go. So I wanted to see what it was like being in another country and playing the sport that you love. I had nothing to lose, so I went for it. Yeah, I think it's an awesome way to travel, especially because you can make friends while you're doing it, and you don't have to stress about like, I'm moving to a whole other country and don't know anyone. You know, I moved to another country and I know that I have 22 girls that hopefully I can make friends with a couple of them. So it's a bit less stressful, and it's a fun way to travel. And even now, like I have people that I live with that are from different areas too. So I hope I can travel to where they live and see what their life is like as well, because it's important to see other cultures and see the world. So I'm a pretty outgoing person, so it's really fun to feel comfortable, and then you can kind of let yourself loose. But there's something about this team that is just so fun. I think everyone just from day one, like I remember landing at 1 p.m., getting picked up, dropping off my stuff here, getting something to eat quick, and then going to training at 5 p.m. And I remember getting there and I was like pretty nervous. Like I was just like, oh, like I have to meet a bunch of new people and I don't know, like it's just kind of a new situation. And that day, like everyone was so welcoming. And when you have to grind through hard stuff together, there's just like something so rewarding about it. And it's like so easy to bond over that. So I remember the first day we had sprints and I was like dying because I had just gotten off the plane. And I just remember looking to, her name was Magda, we call her Magdo, next to me. And I was like, wow, like you're fast, because I was just trying to chase her the whole time. And, you know, it's like so easy to make a friend right away. So, you know, those are memories. But then that same week, we were all bonding together outside the rink. And I started to feel way more comfortable and like myself. But yeah, this team's special. Like, I don't think you're going to find teams that are so like loving and get along well. And, you know, we had a Thanksgiving dinner here last week. And I think there was 20 people to feed. So it's a team that everyone wants to be a part of everything. They want to be hanging out together. They want to do stuff together. We work out together. We grind through tough practices together. And like, it's just special. I'm having a blast.
This season lasts from, well, I arrived in the end of August, and it's gonna last until summer in March, hopefully. I don't really have a job. I do walk dogs, or like a dog every day. I have been looking a little bit for jobs. I basically live off my savings. The plan was to come here and also find some job next to hockey, so I don't use up everything, but that's harder than I expected. But still, yeah, it's at this point what I need to do to be able to play here, so I'm not complaining. I think it's hard to find a job if you don't speak Swedish very well. I speak a little bit, I understand a little bit, but it's not enough usually. The dogs, walking the dogs is just, yeah, it's just a little bit extra also to be outside more and to have like something to do during the day.
Normal week is usually 4 days of practice, 2 games. Most days I get up at 5:30, leave my apartment at 5:50, take the train to practice for 7:10 start, and then after practice I'm rushing with a couple of the girls to get back for class. Usually have class or projects throughout the day, and then rinse and repeat.
My name's Shane Warshaw. I'm from Pasadena, California. The reason why I chose to come and coach a women's hockey team is it was an opportunity given to me. You know, I don't look at it as women's hockey, men's hockey. I look at it as hockey. They're hockey players. And yes, it's different, but in the end, it's coaching hockey. The same tactics are used, the same practice, drills. You'll see us doing a lot of the same practices men's teams do. Systems are almost exactly the same. So hockey's hockey. So that's how I looked at it is I got an opportunity to coach hockey players. And just because they're female, it's a hockey team. And to me, it's no different than coaching a men's team.
Vi har väl spelat nu i, 5 säsonger i SDHL och det har ju inte gått bra. Vi har ju legat på botten varje säsong och fått kvala. Och det är ju inte kul. Och jag förstår ju då att spelare inte vill komma till oss för det är ju inte många som vill gå till ett lag som ligger på botten. Men nu har det vänt och det är jätteroligt. Och det här är ju vår bästa säsong någonsin.
Yeah, I didn't really look up the statistics or anything before I came, and then they did a super great job at recruiting this summer, and they brought in tons of players, and the players that stayed that were a part of that culture before were they're an awesome core group. So we have a good mix of new people and old people that still you can have the SDE culture, and we're winning games, so we can't complain. We lose a couple too, but we're on track to make history this season, so hopefully we can do it.
We talked about goals earlier in the season, and a lot of people said they want to make playoffs. For me, I think we can do better than that. I would like to be in the top half. I would like to have a good playoff spot. And I would like to upset some teams in the playoffs. I think something I love about sport, sometimes it's not the best team that takes home the win, but I think we could really surprise some teams with our cohesiveness and the way we play together when we're doing well.
Well, if you ask me this question again in the end of the season, I hope I'll have a golden helmet on my head.
We have potential to be in playoffs, but not only that, but to be a contending team in playoffs. So once we find our consistency, I think that we can go deep in playoffs, not just make playoffs and make the first round and kind of have that celebrated because that's huge for the program in itself. But I think we can go farther than that, and we have potential to do so. It's just a matter of putting it together and figuring out how to make it happen, because some games were amazing and we're doing everything right, and then there's minutes where we just fall apart, and that's where teams capitalize. So we just got to find a way to not fall apart, which is insane and hard, and it's the whole point of the game, but I think we'll find it and figure it out.
Det hade ju varit jättekul om vi kunde leva på vår sport. Men nu, som det ser ut nu, är det ju inte så. Och då känner jag väl lite att då får man väl, självklart ska man jobba för att det ska bli bättre. Men man måste också förhålla sig till hur det är. Vi tar ibland med oss matlådor. Tänk om det var så att vi kunde få en sponsor så att vi kunde stanna på vägen och äta. Alltså sådana små saker. Eller att alla kunde få, men jag vet inte, att man får hämta typ en kasse på ICA med mat. Jag tror att man måste börja där.
That's a really good question. Why do I put so much time into something that has no financial return for me? I really can't explain my love of the sport. I don't know where it comes from, but to do what we're doing, you really have to love it.
the average girl hockey player, you're not making money really at all. It's more so about what you can do to play the sport and make enough like on a side job. And often I'll tell people I work with, oh, like hockey's my job and this is my side gig. But even though that's your main source of income is your side gig, it's kind of where your passion lies. So
I don't think that anyone thinks we're going to be making NHL salaries, but it would be great to have enough to really perform at my best. You know, medical staff, equipment paid for, like you'll see like my skates are falling apart and like I can't afford to buy another pair right now. Sticks, things that I think maybe even the 10th tier of men's hockey is able to have access to, we still don't have access to. And this is national team players, top players in the world. I think the inequality is pretty big.
So you got to make your own financial stability in order to be able to play still.
And we usually have 2 games a week. The games are always back-to-back, either Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. Usually we're pretty beat up after a weekend, after 2 games. I mean, it of course depends on who we're playing, but it's a lot of competition in a 48-hour span. Of course you can't perform at your top abilities when you're not resting and recovering. You can try to train for that, but it doesn't really change the fact that it's not enough time to recover between games. The disparity in opportunities between the men's and the women's side is really demoralizing. I can't think of any other word to describe it.
Så det känns, men det är helt otroligt. Alltså det är så skönt att slippa ha den där ångesten. För det är en ångest. Man missar nog 5 år av sitt liv bara på de små timmarna där.
Yeah, I think I'm still really disappointed with how the season went. I think we started off really, really strong, and I think we underperformed for our talent and for how close we were as a group. And I haven't quite sorted out exactly why that happened. I know in the playoffs there, I thought we had a really good chance to beat Brynäs. I thought we matched well with them throughout the season. And it seemed like things really fell apart for us. We didn't just lose, we lost by big margins. Especially as a stay-at-home defenseman, it's never fun to be in a blowout game like our last game was. Especially when, you know, it's 4 goals in 5 minutes or something like that, and the rest of the game is great. It's just hard. You know, my intention coming to Sweden was to play for 1 season while I was studying, and now I'm just, you know, sucked in. Like, I definitely want to be here another season and be a part of the growth of SCE. It's exciting.
I was wondering why you didn't ask when I thought I'd be done hockey. I don't feel ever like I'm going to quit hockey. Yeah, I think especially with being 29, I get asked a lot like when it's going to be time to hang up the skates. I don't have an answer for that. For me, like I'm still getting better. I'm still competing, and my body's holding up fairly well. Like there's no reason, I don't see any reason to stop until those things aren't true. So until I can't compete or my injuries get too big. So in 5 years, I really hope to still be playing, to be honest. I plan on playing at some level until I can't walk.
As a player, and coming from clubs that do have money and going to clubs that don't, or vice versa, I think what stays is your gratefulness to people and people that are putting in time and effort, like Helen and Shane and Milan, who's doing our skates. Like they have lives too outside of hockey, and someone like yourself is like making all these sacrifices and taking time out of your day to invest in us and figure out what's going on and help us. And I think you're always grateful for that. And those people should probably know that. And I don't think they get to hear it enough. So just thank you, I guess.